Hello everyone! So today we kind of have a different sort of video. We don't have anything to unbox right now because we're still waiting on Red Velvet, but one of our lovely subscribers gave us the idea to talk about our Kpop journeys, and recently, when we were out at the Vintage Mart, we found these little frames.
Actually, I found these at an estate sale.
Okay, well, anyway, doesn't matter. We found them, thought they were cute, so we're going to decorate one today.
Yep.
All right.
Don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, so we're just kind of seeing what what's gonna come out. But we thought that we could go ahead and talk about our different K-pop journeys while we do this as sort of like a come sit and chat with us.
Yep.
So
that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Come sit. Let's chat.
Well, I have to stand so I can see the angle, make sure everything's okay.
Okay.
But anyway, it doesn't matter.
I mean, I'm not gonna move much, so
okay.
If it's good here, then you're probably good.
But anyway, so I will go first. So me, Summer. I got into K-pop in 2018. Very long time ago now.
For real.
So it actually didn't start with K-pop. It actually started with Chinese dramas because I had started watching a whole just bunch of Chinese dramas in my free time, and I was like, oh my god, this stuff's so cool. And I was watching one called Meteor Garden.
Oh my god, so long.
Yes, so
it's good though.
It's the Chinese adaptation of Boys Over Flowers, and I was watching it, and of course, like most people probably did, I really liked the guy who played Dao Ming-se.
Didi?
Yes, who is the Chinese equivalent of Lee Min-ho's character from Boys Over Flowers, played by Wang Hedi, and so I was watching like all this variety shows that they were doing and all this other stuff, and Dee had been on a show with Jackson from GOT7 before.
Jackson.
Because Jackson obviously does a lot of Chinese variety shows too.
He's so funny.
Yeah, he really is. And so from there I was like, oh my god, this Jackson guy's like so cool. He's super funny. He's really cute. So I started listening to his solo music, and then I was like, oh my gosh, he's in a group. So I started listening to his group too, and I was like, oh my gosh, GOT7 makes such great music. Like, I've never heard anything like this before. It's so cool. Like, it's really fresh. So I became a huge GOT7 stan. And similarly,
should I pay the back?
If you want to. Around the same time, because I was watching so many Chinese dramas, and I started listening to Jackson's music, I started listening to other Chinese artists, and I really liked Lei Zhang. I was like, oh my god, this dude's so cool. Yeah. So the Namanana album came out around when I got into all this kind of stuff.
I already got paint on myself.
So the Namanana album like fundamentally changed me as a human being. I love it so much. It's so good.
What's on that one?
That is Tattoo and Lay You Down and all the other ones.
Yeah, okay. His slutty face.
They're not all sluts. Anyway.
Kidding.
There's a few songs on that album that are a bit risque. But the whole album is so good.
Oh, and the dancer that we just figured out is from, I forgot where.
Yes, so if anyone's watched Street Woman Fighter 2, Latrice from Jam Republic was actually one of his backup dancers for his Chinese tour dates, and so she did the Lay You Down dance with Yixing, which was so cool. And I was like, oh my god, okay, so that's where I know her from. But anyways, that's way in the future. So back in 2018, so I was listening to a lot of GOT7 and Yixing, obviously. But on the K-pop side of things, I wasn't really listening to like a whole lot of groups. I think at that point I really only knew about a handful of them. One of them being Lovely Z.
Oh, poor little Lucy.
They were my girl group for like a really long time. Because I had watched a bunch of like a cappella videos of theirs.
They can sing?
And they were so good. Because not many groups can do like really good a cappella music. And I was a vocal music, I don't want to say major, because but I went to a performing arts high school. And vocal music was like my track.
Right.
In school. So I obviously did a lot of a cappella music and other kinds of vocal music.
Yep.
So I was really impressed with them, and I think also I knew about like FX because funny story.
Oh
my ninth grade algebra teacher was like, I wanted to start a band called FX, but it was already taken, so I can't use it. And so I was like, oh really? That's so weird. Who would make a band called FX? So I looked them up one day and I saw Crystal. And I just was like immediately in love with her. I was like, oh my god, this girl is everything.
Oh my god.
So like I knew about a few groups every now and again. But actually when I was scrolling through Instagram one day, I saw a clip of Joy from Red Velvet.
Love her.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite.
And it was a clip from her in The Liar and His Lover. And it was the clip of her where she's in her classroom singing the Butterfly song.
So cute.
And I saw that clip and I was like, wow, this girl has the most beautiful voice I've ever seen in my entire life. I was like, I don't know who this girl is, but I'm in love with her.
Yep.
So, like, she just was everything.
Me too, bro.
And then I didn't, like, actually, nobody was, like, mentioning her name, I guess, and I didn't really like know how to find her because I didn't know what the show was called either. So I was just sitting there like, oh, who is this girl?
Wait, did you watch the show?
So when I was actually living in China, I started watching a lot of Korean dramas because I didn't really have a lot of other stuff to do. So I was just watching a lot of like K-dramas in my free time, and like Chinese dramas too.
Right.
But a lot of K-dramas because I hadn't really watched any before then. And I saw The Liar and His Lover, and I was like, oh, that looks like a cute show. So
it was.
So I started watching it. And when I got to that part, I went, oh my god, that's her?
Yep.
And it like, blew my mind. So from that specific clip was how I became, like, a Red Velvet fan. Because I saw her, and I was like, okay, I have to know every single thing that she's ever done. Like, she's so cool. And then so I started listening to Red Velvet, and I was like, oh my god, their music's so good.
That's how I felt when I saw her.
and similarly, in that same time period, I was watching a variety show
that one's good.
that I don't think anybody really remembers that much besides the people who actually watched it. But there's a variety show called Busted with
Taehoon.
Yes, Sehun. I started watching it because I was a really big fan of Minyoung. But when I was watching it, I was like, oh my god, who is this Sehun guy? He's so funny, he's so cool. And then so that's how I got into EXO, and then finding out that Lei Jong, who I'd been listening to for like years at that point, was in EXO, I was like, oh, how did I not know this? Because I only knew him
Look, it matches the plate.
Because I only knew him as a soloist, so I was like, oh, he's in this group. Because I kind of knew that he had been in a group, but I never really like checked them out.
Yeah.
But then I got like really, really into Sehun, so that's how I got into that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's any like other fun stories. And then so I started watching a lot of Hello 82 is like a really big thing. And I was there from like the first video they ever did because...
Which was what?
Oh, it was like just like a hello, like kind of announcement video, I guess. And because one of the guys who was working with them, I don't know if he still does or if he was just there like during that period, but there was this guy named Evan who did a lot of like BuzzFeed videos.
Oh, Evan.
Yes. So you might have recognized him from the Korean barbecue episode of, what was it called? Worth It, I think was what it was called. Where they went and ate stuff at different, like a really cheap thing and then like a medium thing and then a really expensive thing.
I kind of vaguely remember that.
Yes, so he was on the Korean barbecue episode of that, but he also did like a lot of other stuff. So he interviewed like GOT7 and other K-pop people. And I really liked him because I really liked his sense of humor, and he just seemed like a really chill guy. So when he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to work on this like thing called Hello 82," I was like, "Okay, well, sign me up." So I started So I was there from like day one, pretty much. And that's how I found Card. Actually, funny enough.
That's the beginning of mine, y'all.
Because so they did like a Reddit Ask Me Anything kind of thing and like a bunch of challenge videos.
Card did?
Yes, to promote Bomb Bomb. And that is how I found out about Card. And then, so, fast forward, when I came back from...
China.
Yeah, when I came back from China...
Thank you, COVID.
I was already leaving China by that point.
I know.
But,
thank God.
Funny enough, because I came back in January 2020 from China. So it
missed it.
It was definitely like a really weird period. Because I almost would have been stuck there, which would have been so nice.
No.
I really missed it.
I don't think so.
I say this every day. I miss living in China. It was just so much better for me. Like, on so many levels. But anyway. So when I came back, I was like, oh my god, you have to listen to all this stuff. So I would constantly play music, like K-pop music, so a lot of GOT7, a lot of Jackson stuff. Jin Young's My Youth, because I was like, I know she's gonna love this. I know she's gonna enjoy this.
And I did.
Yeah. But then, so what I think that was
Then she made me watch all 60 episodes of Meteor Garden.
Yes, because it was, okay, first of all, it was 52, so chill out.
It's so long. It was worth it, though.
But, so I showed Gwen the music video for Dumb Liddy.
Love that song.
And that was how she really got into it, because...
I love Card.
Yes. So I showed her that, and I think a few other things.
Then GOT7.
Then a lot of GOT7.
Monsta X.
Oh yeah, Monsta X, because a friend of mine in college was really
into them.
really into Monsta X. That was like her big group. So it was fun because GOT7 was my big group, and they did a lot of stuff together because obviously Shono trained under JYP and was about to be in GOT7 before he left to become Hyori's backup dancer. And so there was a lot of overlap, and we could just both be like, oh my god,
did you see this?
Did you see this? Did you see that? And I think through her, I got also into like Dreamcatcher and...
Oh, that's where the paint's coming from. I dropped it on there.
Oh, I see.
Whoops.
Dreamcatcher and WJSN around that time. Like a whole bunch of different like random groups. Right. And then, while I was in China, I started getting a lot of ads on YouTube for like different music videos that were coming out.
I know what's coming. Okay.
So, proud to say that I've been a fan of MCND since debut, because I think maybe like a week after they debuted, I got the ad for Ice Age. And I was like, this is it. This is...
MCND's awesome.
They were my absolute favorite 4th gen boy group for so long. And also at that same time...
Are they not now?
I'm trying to think
Have they been supplanted?
I don't actually know. Not 4th gen boy groups, I don't think.
Okay, good. Just checking.
I'm trying to think if there's any 4th gen groups that I like more than MCND.
TNX. I really like them. I don't know if they're gonna keep doing stuff,
I guess
though.
Tan would count.
Yeah, Tan's great.
But sadly they're a project group, so they're probably not gonna last much.
Still.
I'm so sad. But anyway, no, I think MCND is also still currently the my main 4th gen boy group. But so I saw that, and I also saw VAV's Poison MV, which was so good. Also, it was really funny to me because as a Monsta X fan at that point, I had watched No Mercy, and I know from VAV was on No Mercy, so I was like, oh, that's such a weird like overlap. It's so weird to see him like do things, but I'm glad that he found his group.
Should I paint it all one color, or should I do like a different color for each window.
I kind of like the one color, and then we can just.
I'm gonna put this on top anyway.
Yeah, and then we can just kind of put stuff on afterwards.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just how I feel about it.
I'm doing this fast. I mean, acrylics dry really fast, but like it's not gonna be. We're
Yeah.
just kind of seeing what it's gonna take to do something with these. Basically, because I've got more.
Yeah, we have 2 more. So if this turns out really well, then we might do another video like this.
Yeah.
Where we just kind of talk about something.
And do art.
Because we're both pretty artsy people.
I like it.
What else did I see at that time? Oh, right. Newest's Love Me.
Love Newest.
Which was so good.
That's a great album.
Yeah.
The Table?
The Table. The Table is probably one of my favorite. Spoiler alerts. So, I have a video planned for us at some point where we talk about different, like, albums that we really, really love. So for me, it's mostly, like, albums that basically are kind of like no skips for me, but also have like a personal story with them. And
I don't have personal stories, but I do have no skip albums.
And The Table was one of them because I was listening to it like during my time in China, and it just was like a really comforting album. Like my time there was really, really nice, but it was definitely a bit strange being you know,
strange country, no family or friends around.
Yeah, and my roommate like lived there because she was Chinese Canadian, so she had like family that lived there. So she would spend a lot of time with her family, which I mean obviously makes sense. So I spent a good few like days and weekends and stuff like alone during that time. So I just had a lot of time to like really sit and reflect with myself. And The Table was really good for just, like, chilling out and, like, kind of just thinking about things. So.
Good.
But it's definitely one of my favorite albums. Namanana being another one, obviously.
Just, like, I was like, hey, I'm here. Okay. Mom, I'm here.
Mom, I'm here. Yeah.
Anywho.
I'm trying to think of then. It's actually really, really... So, what's really funny to me is how different both of our journeys have been, because we both kind of, so technically we started in 4th gen, but I started with 3rd gen groups. We both kind of started with 3rd gen groups, and we've branched out in very different directions.
We do have very different musical tastes. We have
very, very different tastes. So
some stuff we agree on.
Yeah, of course. But if you've seen like our videos where we talk about
what we have on our shelves and
stuff. Like our shelf tours or binder tours,
it's very different.
It's very different. So not only just in musical taste, but it's very different in generational taste.
True.
Because I'm a huge like 2nd and 3rd gen stan. I love 2nd gen music. I listen to it every day. Even some 1st gen music. Like, obviously, there's people like Boa, Shinhwa.
Old.
Old stuff. Really old stuff.
Which is fine.
The band Buzz, like, FD Island, like, all that kind of, like, early, like, late 1st gen, kind of early 2nd gen stuff. And then a lot of other, like, 2nd gen things. Yeah. Groups and stuff. But, and still a lot of, like, 3rd gen stuff. So, like, EXO, Red Velvet, GOT7. Trying to think of what else is on my playlist.
Boa?
Boa's on there, but I'm talking about 3rd gen stuff.
What is Boa?
Boa's 1st gen.
What? Nuh-uh.
She debuted in 2000, dude.
Bro, I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, so that kind of stuff. Right now, most of my playlist is Red Velvet because of Chill Kill. Right. But we'll talk about that when we unbox the album, because I have a lot of things to say. Good things to say, I should add. I love this album so much.
It's definitely better than the last few they put out.
Yeah, it's just been a weird, like... Things have been going on at SM that we just...
They're just trying to make everybody NCT. And look, I like NCT, but I don't want everybody else to be NCT or have their sound, because what is the point of having different groups if you're going to make them all sound the same? Yes. It aggravates me.
But also there's a lot of, like, internal politics struggle things that are...
They'll get over it. Everybody does.
But anyway, But yeah, so I like a lot of like second, third gen music.
This is too dark. I might paint over it again.
Okay.
It's too green.
I don't know. I like it.
I do like it. I don't know. I'll see what it looks like when I try.
Yeah. And Gwen, on the other hand, really, really, really loves fourth gen. Most of her favorite groups are fourth gen, which I find so funny because obviously she's my mother, so
I like stuff that like I like peppy stuff. You like ballady stuff, and that to me makes me fall asleep. Some of it doesn't. Some of it doesn't. Like Infinite, love them.
Absolutely love Infinite.
There's just got to be a certain way.
It's not that I necessarily like ballad music.
Yeah.
I just really like that like early 2000s kind of sound. Mm-hmm. And I will say that there are more than a few songs on my playlist that are like ballady type songs. Mm. Or like really big powerful vocal songs, but it's not necessarily all that because obviously I do listen to.
No, I mean that's not the only difference. Yeah, it's just like the ones that you like. And look, like Buzz, that's fine. FC Island, that's fine. It gotta have a certain feel for me, and I just can't get into some of it.
I personally am a really big. I place a lot of emphasis on vocals, which is
whereas I like music more. Yeah. Well, I like vocals too, though. That's weird.
I'm a very big fan of vocal heavy and like vocal solo stuff, like.
If they're good.
Well, yeah. Like, but that obviously that's why I was drawn to groups like EXO and Red Velvet and Lovely Z, like stuff like that.
If you haven't seen EXO's Killing Voice, you got to.
So good.
It's so good. It's the best one they've ever done.
We've watched it probably.
Like there's 19 million views and about 1 million is us. Just saying.
Probably we've watched it pretty much every day since it came out.
Yep. Sometimes multiple times.
Yeah.
Just depends.
Honestly. But so I like a lot of like really vocally heavy, like a lot of my biases have really great vocals.
Yep.
Or have the potential to have really great vocals if they got to sing more, but that's another conversation for another day.
You too. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, but then obviously Gwen likes a lot of stuff that's mostly like a lot of dance heavy stuff.
I like EDM. So I do like the dance stuff, but I like watching dance. I was kind of a singer-ish when I was younger, but I danced from when I was like 5 till I was in high school, and then I quit to play soccer. No, I played soccer too, but
yeah. But like the thing that really got her was when I was showing her the only one of Malamente dance practice.
I really like them a lot
because that was another thing that came up in my
because their dancing's like art. Like they're expressing something. I like them a lot.
And so a lot of the groups that she likes are really like dance heavy or like really interesting kind of dancers.
I like various dance practices a lot. Like they perform. Dude, they're so in sync. Yeah. It's insane.
And then same thing and that's a similar reason why you like 17 as well. 17, yeah. Because they have a similar kind of like.
Plus they can sing.
Yeah.
I really like
that. But yeah, so we just have it's been really interesting like watching
it's very different directions.
Yeah, very different directions.
That's cool.
So we both have like a very unique style, I guess, of songs that we like.
Yeah. And groups.
Yeah, but we do have some overlap with stuff.
We have a lot. We have a lot that we like at the same time, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rest this there for a sec.
While it tries.
Sorry. Anyway.
Trying to think what else we could talk about. I think that's pretty that's kind of it for like journeys. I think so. With finding new stuff, our approach is like, okay,
if we like the song, then we like the song.
Yeah.
Don't have to like every song from every group.
Of course, but. I mean, for like finding new groups and stuff, basically, so what we do is pretty much everyone who has a debut, we watch.
Yep.
And if it's a debut that we like, we keep an eye on
them.
See what their next comeback's like, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
If it's a group that we know about, and we were kind of like, well, we didn't really like hate the last one,
wasn't our jam,
but let's see
what the next one is. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff like that. Pretty much every person that has a debut or comeback, we pretty much watch, unless we know that we just don't like that group.
Or if it's, politically involved in something that we just don't want to support. Like, I'm
trying to think of what possibly we could have.
I don't mean politically like politics. I mean like the companies are screwing them or something.
I see. Yes. So obviously there's some kinds of stuff that like when Luna was having their gearing up for that comeback that everyone was boycotting, obviously we were like, yeah, we're not going to support that if it comes out. Stuff like that. Or, stuff where the...
Like 50-50 thing. Like, man, they're so cute and they're great and they can sing, but, like, they're poor people.
Yeah, so... So there's a lot of stuff like that where we're just kind of like... Well, not a lot. I shouldn't say a lot.
3 or 4, yeah.
A few things like that. I think also... There was another group that was asking for a date.
Baekhyun, don't buy albums, buy jackets.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
Not that we listened to him, obviously, because if you watched our EXO unboxing, we got all of the digipacks and then all of the versions. Yeah, so...
Sucker for EXO.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But anyway, pretty much everyone we take a chance on, and then if we like it, we keep liking it. Like, we found more than a few groups like that